Hi, I'm Clinton.
I'm Claude, and we're the lamest offenders. So for today's episode, we are reviewing what could be the best episode of WandaVision yet, episode 5. So let's get going.
Hi, Thanos. We're the lamest offenders.
I don't even know who you are.
We have a small but dedicated fan base.
Be sure to visit our sponsor at BaskervilleProductions.com.
Welcome back. So for this episode, it opens back up. We are focusing more on Wanda and Vision because last episode was purely Sword.
Yeah, we're back to the great intro. We had I think it was a Family Ties.
I love that. Yeah, it's so funny.
Great. It was a horrible song. Yeah. I don't remember a word of it, but
me neither.
It will stay with me.
Yeah, it was definitely my favorite intro they've done so far.
It was great.
So obviously they have twins now and they're little babies. So Wanda and Vision are struggling with just parenthood in general because they keep crying, and that was kind of, it lasted a little bit longer than I would have liked to see.
Yeah.
So
well, then luckily next door neighbor Auntie
Nosy
Agnes
neighbor.
shows up, and all of a sudden they're just 5. Did she do anything?
I don't know. I think that those
here they are.
Yeah, Billy and Tommy, I think they can somehow change their age because later in the episode Wanda's like, don't change your age, like it was kind of interesting. And then probably one of the coolest things about this episode is things start to unravel. Right from the get-go with Agnes and Vision's like, why are you letting her interact with these kids so much?
Yeah, he's like, we don't know where you've been, like rather not. And then Agnes is just flummoxed. She's like, do you want me to take that from the top? Should I just? Yeah. What do you want me to do? Like she's
YouTube rewind.
She's terrified. It was actually really cool. But that was, I don't know. It was just kind of odd to see her so scared too of it. So
it was cool. And then from there we go back to the Sword base and then talking with Monica, Darcy, and Jimmy. Just Mr. Wu, just to see what's going on. And it's kind of cool too because they're doing medical tests on Monica Rambeau, and then nothing's coming up, like her blood work and stuff.
Yeah,
so
she's
that's
just blank.
So it's interesting because obviously she plays a huge role in the comics, so she gains power. So we'll see what happens with that. And also, what else is interesting about this is all of her clothes are basically hexed. She has bulletproof bell bottoms now.
Literally, she was wearing Kevlar body armor when she went into the bubble, and then Wanda changed her clothes to the bell bottoms and the disco style. Excuse me. And then all of a sudden, like, Monica just takes Wu's gun and fires it in a very small area, which is always advisable.
Yeah.
and then the bullets just drop. So she's like, oh, they're Kevlar now.
Yeah.
It's like, you couldn't have taken that to a firing range or outside?
She's in a hurry, damn it.
I guess.
And it was also cool, too, to see kind of her, I guess, interactions with her boss now.
Hayward?
Yeah, he is a complete dickhole now.
I know. He started off so cool in the beginning. Yeah. Now he's just like, man, no.
I'm the best. NSA. And then, so that kind of plays with them trying to find out more information about what's going inside the bubble. They finally just call it a hex now. Darcy labels it.
Okay, I like that,
Yeah, so then they send in a drone. This is later in the episode, but basically just to scout things out.
Yeah.
And, so the drone was armed, and Monica Monica just wanted to communicate to Wanda and be like, what the hell's going on here?
What are you doing?
That actually leads to your favorite scene then.
Yes, so Wanda ain't happy about the drone, and she brings it out in pieces. She leaves the bubble, and then she has the drone with her, and all of a sudden she's back in her in-game outfit, basically. And so she's like, is this yours? And chucks it at the guy.
Is this your toy?
And then when she leaves the bubble, I don't know, quite a few Sword agents fall out, and then they all point their weapons at her. So you just see these blue dots all over. And then
laser tag.
As she's kind of laying down the law, like, listen, leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. Hayward's like, no, that's nice in theory, but
you're endangering people.
Yeah, you're literally holding people hostage against their will. I cannot allow that, which is right. Like, that is an absolute legitimate thing. So she said, like, this is your one and final warning, basically. And hexes all the soldiers, and all the soldiers turn their guns on him. So you see all these green sights just go immediately on Hayward. He's like, whoa,
Pocket dust.
He's like, stand down. And then Wanda walks back in the bubble, and everything goes back to normal. But like that was my favorite scene by far of this episode.
Oh, for sure.
Loved it. It was great.
So what was interesting, too, about that is from the very get-go, so Wanda is obviously doing this whole sitcom thing, but she has no accent anymore. And as soon as she gets out of that hex bubble, she just talks like she normally does. So that was kind of interesting to see with that.
Back to squat and Slav.
And then another kind of a side plot is, I guess, Tommy and Billy find a dog, basically.
Yes.
And there's some life lessons there. But really, I want to kind of bring that around with how Vision interacts with that, because he's starting to realize that something isn't right with Wanda and there's something going on here, especially when he goes to work.
Yeah.
And he interacts with his buddy there.
Yeah.
And
the communist norm.
Yeah. He's like, so then when he basically gets Norm out of his mind control, he's freaking out. He's like, I need to call my sister. And then
she's taking care of our dad. He's sick. Like I don't know what's going on. Like how many days has it been?
Right.
So Vision's just like enough of that.
Turn up.
Like, puts him right back into it.
Yeah. So that makes a very interesting interaction with Wanda when he gets home.
Yeah.
And that was really cool, is to see them finally have a confrontation now.
Yeah, and actually going back to the sword meeting with Wu and Darcy, the question is finally asked: how is he alive with the Mind Stone?
Yeah,
so,
what happened to his body?
It's
true.
That was great. Like we're like, okay, we're finally getting to this point. Like we're actually, even if they don't address it, at least they're asking it.
Yeah,
because I mean, I'm okay with fan theorizing. Like that's fine with me. So
it is a TV show, but at the same time, it's just like maybe we're not settled into Marvel being a TV show, or we're like, come on,
exactly.
Like, let's pick this up.
And even in the comics, these characters have 18 different backstories.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, just pick one you like.
They retcon Wanda's parents like 5 times,
for
like
sure.
mutants, blah blah blah.
So it is what it is, but it's still enjoyable, and I'm having like this was by far my favorite episode.
Yeah.
So that leads us to the big reveal. As Wanda and Vision are fighting, a knock at the door, or doorbell rather.
Ding dong.
And Vision's asking or actually Wanda says accusingly to Vision, like, I'm not doing that. It's not me. And he goes, I want to believe you, but right now I'm throwing statistics out the door.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not believing anything right now. So Wanda goes to the door, and it's her older brother? I forget who.
Well, they're twins.
Well, I know.
So I think he's he is older.
Like 12 minutes older than her.
Yeah, it's like 12
that.
seconds.
Yeah, sure. But
and he likes Age of Ultron. Shoot.
Sorry.
Christ.
So before I was so rudely interrupted, we're back to her older brother Pietro is now alive. Not just the original actor, but the one from the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Which I thought he was actually. I liked both of them, but the actor from American Horror Story, I thought he was much better.
Oh yeah, he did way more, and I think that's more along the lines of Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
You know.
It's kind of more his style.
Yeah.
More his style character.
Screwing up Age of Ultron.
And he has a. You brought up a good point. Like he has a New York accent now, and he's like, I can't. What I gotta do? Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah. Like, I haven't seen my baby sister in so long. Give me a
long face, popsicle.
Yeah. He calls the bitch a popsicle. Yeah.
And I guess so. What I was like, why does he have this accent or whatever? But basically, you have to realize that this is a sitcom.
Yeah.
Basically, Wanda's creating. So I guess she's just giving him an accent. And the coolest part for me is not so much that Quicksilver, blah blah blah, ties into X-Men, but just what this means for the future, such as a Spider-Man 3 movie that could have Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Matt Murdock in it.
Yeah, I'm very excited for what the future of Marvel is, honestly, because I'm okay with Marvel getting really weird.
Yeah.
Like, bring it on. Like, this is fine. I love this stuff. So
out of 10, what would you give?
I'm giving it a 9. I'm giving it a 9. This is by far the best episode. I feel like I know no one at Marvel is watching this, which is fine. Well, actually, it's not, but watch it. And, but it's like they've addressed almost every issue I've had, even splicing in like the sword stuff. Like, it was done naturally. It was done like not just. It
didn't just focus on one thing.
So well done. It was a great pacing wise. I thought it was fantastic.
I'd agree. I totally agree that this is by far the best episode. So I will also give it a 9. I really liked it. So
that point nonsense you want to do?
you know what? My final review is 8.9.
Oh.
So out of 10. So it's awesome. But anyway, that is our review for episode 5. Just make sure that you catch us for next week's episode, which I'm sure will be equally as awesome.
Hope so. Thanks so much for watching. Stay lame.
Bye.